Welcome to the Q&A, Failure Analysis and Prevention, with Dr. Daniel Dennies and Mr. Burak Akyuz. Dr. Dennies, a licensed metallurgical professional engineer, is the principal and CEO of DMS Inc. He has over 40 years of experience as a technical specialist, technical manager, and program manager in various industries, serving as a consultant for the last 15 years. Dan's expertise includes failure analysis, engineering design support, material and process selection, customer-supplier interactions, and program development. He has developed, revised, and taught multiple courses. He has also given numerous presentations and authored 2 books. Dan has been a member of ASM International for over 40 years and is an ASM Fellow. Dan is a past trustee for both the ASM Materials Education Foundation and ASM International. He is currently president of ASM's International Metallographic Society and the vice president of ASM's Failure Analysis Society. He was a contributor to the 2002 Volume 11 and is a volume editor and contributor to the 2021 Volume 11. Welcome, Dr. Dennies. Mr. Akyuz is the manager of the Materials Testing and Failure Analysis Department at Applied Technical Services, one of the largest test laboratories in the United States. He manages approximately 40 people who perform failure analysis and materials testing for several different industries on a wide variety of materials. Burak is a metallurgist by training and experience, and he has extensive experience in failure analysis and metallurgical analysis. He has given several presentations at various conferences and published several articles. Burak is currently a trustee for ASM International. He is also a director of ASM's International Metallographic Society and the past president of ASM's Failure Analysis Society. Burak is a contributor to the 2021 Volume 11. Welcome, Mr. Akyuz. At this time, I'm going to hand over the Q&A to Dr. Dennies.
Thank you, and thank you for the chance to discuss the new Volume 11 with Mr. Akyuz. The first thing I'd like to talk about is, as the volume editors, we're very proud. One of the volume editors, we're very proud of the new Volume 11. But the new Volume 11, the failure analysis and prevention within the ASM International, the volunteers have been in the leadership of failure analysis and prevention for over 70 years. I mean, if you want to go back to the 1948 Red Book, which is the 1-volume ASM Handbook, which it has a section on the subcommittee on service failures. After that, the failure analysis and prevention became a separate handbook within the ASM Handbook series. In 1975, it was Volume 10. And then in 1986, 2002, it was Volume 11. And of course, in 2021, it will be Volume 11 again. But the 2021 Volume 11 is an updated and revised and expanded version of the 2002. You know, it's about 20 years later now, and the book is a complete revamp. The other thing that's going on with the 2021 Volume 11 is this is the first of a planned multi-volume set. And the Volume 11 will come out, is out right now for sale. The Volume 11A, which is entitled Analysis and Prevention of Components and Equipment Failures, is going to be released later this year. Volume 11B, which is Characterization and Failure Analysis of Plastics, is in development. This multi-volume set will provide answers regarding failure analysis and prevention for many types of engineers. Well, good morning, Burak. How you doing?
Good, Dan. How are you?
I'm well. I am well. Tell me about your group at ATS and what they do.
Dan, Applied Technical Services is one of the largest testing companies in the United States, and we mainly focus on metallurgy and materials testing, chemical analysis, non-destructive testing, calibration, forensics, and consulting engineering. I currently manage materials testing and failure analysis business units. And in these groups that we conduct testing and failure analysis for several end markets on several different components and wide variety of materials.
So let me ask you a question. With the scope of everything that you're doing, what resources does your company have for your employees?
Of course, we offer training for new employees that can be done either via experienced personnel, or we utilize ASM's education courses. We have online and printed subscriptions for several standards. And most importantly, we have a large technical library, and that library consists of mostly ASM publications.
Well, let me ask you, specific to this Q&A, let me ask you about the volume 11. How many previous volumes of the volume 11 do you have, and why do you have those ones?
Yeah, we have 1975 edition, 1986 edition, and 2002 editions of the Failure Analysis Handbooks. And they all have great information, and believe me, they're being used daily. It is very advantageous to have new editions and old ones together. And then, as I mentioned before, the ATS failure analysts, they work on components from several different industries and materials. Therefore, they need daily education on the aspects that are related to failures of these. And I personally have been doing failure analysis for a long time and probably turn the pages of different editions almost every day. The Failure Analysis Handbook is really essential to, in my opinion, to every failure analysis professional, especially to the emerging professionals who would like to conduct failure analysis as a part of their job. But then my question to you, why should my company buy the new volume 11? What is new in 2021 edition?
Well, let me go back to the slide that we've left on the screen here. You know, the big thing, of course, is with the new 2021 volume 11, it's updated and revised and expanded. A lot of the information that was there in the previous 2002, we've really done a lot of good work with a lot of leading experts to make those articles better. And of course, the second point that's here in blue is that this is the first of a multi-volume set, which will include components and equipment failures, and then of course plastics. So this will greatly expand the scope of the volume 11. More specifically, let me get into the divisions or topics that we have in the volume 11. And a lot of you that have the older volumes will recognize these divisions and topics: introduction to failure analysis and prevention, the practice of failure analysis, tools and techniques, fatigue, environmental and failures, wear failures, and then deletion. These have been around for a while, and once again, we've expanded. But I want to go one deeper. This is the table of contents for the 2020 volume 11. And you can see with the number of articles that we have in here, the breadth of the coverage of the information that we will discuss in the various articles. And all of these articles have been revised and updated. In addition, the new articles, some of the new articles you see here are in the blue color. And that's just because we are adding new things that we believe would be an addition to this volume as well. So Burak, let me shift gears for a second. You and I are both contributors to the 2021. Why did you write your article?
First and foremost, I wanted to give back to the society, which helped me greatly during my career. And they prepared this earlier editions, and also I wanted to share my experience and knowledge. And all editions of this great handbook was written and prepared by volunteer professionals, and they wanted to share their knowledge with everybody else. And I am extremely proud to be involved in the new editions of the Failure Analysis Handbook.
And that's extremely well said. You know, it's just the giving back to the society, as well as the fact that the volume 11 has the leaders in failure analysis and prevention revising and updating these articles.
So how do I get the new volume?
Well, we're glad you asked that, Burak. You just go to ASM's website and go to asminternational.org/HBVOL11 for the print version, and to DL www.asminternational.org/handbooks for the digital version. Thank you for watching our Q&A on failure analysis and prevention.